My name is Dave, and I'm an assistant instructor here at BKM, and I'm also a brown belt candidate. I got interested in Krav Maga when my son was born. I hadn't done any martial arts in the past, and I hadn't really considered it. But after he was born, I started to feel a different sense of vulnerability that I hadn't before when I was on my own, and even when I was married. And it just made me want to do something that, you know, would make me feel and like my family feel more safe out in the world. I actually started researching different martial arts.
Martial arts!
Karate.
Some Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
To see if, you know, there was something I could do that made sense for me. And I ultimately chose Krav Maga because of the real world elements.
I know Krav Maga.
I don't know who that is, but he sounds very protective of you.
We were thinking about things like guns and knives and the types of things that, you know, unfortunately happen on day to day. I was away from training for a year during the pandemic, and the first test that I took coming back, I think was my first blue pre-test, and that was the hardest just because I hadn't tested in a really long time, and I don't know that any of the tests had pushed me as hard as that one, so that was really challenging. There was a lot of fighting, a lot of running on top of all the cauldrons and the spot checking of the techniques. Partly just wanting to give back because I feel like I've gotten a lot of great training here, and I've been around a long time. I've been on the slow road to get my belt, so I feel like I've picked up a lot of institutional knowledge from being around. I'm also one of the older students here, and there's part of me that feels like a little bit of a resource for people like myself who are fathers or are older people with families and are looking for a way to train while also managing their family schedules, and I feel like I can give them some insight from having been here and done this for going on 8 years now. Just to keep coming, I got some good advice, I think, in the first few months I was here, which was to just come to class, especially on the days when you don't feel like it. And I've used that a lot to motivate myself, you know, because it's not always easy to come in because of family calendar, just demands of the day. And on those days, I remind myself of the instructor that said that to me, and I do come in on those days, and I think over time that sort of persistence just pays off. In my spare time, one thing I do a lot is brew beer.
I liked beer, still like beer.
And I bring it sometimes to fight class. I think that's the main reason they let me come around anymore.
I like beer.
It doesn't have anything to do with Krav, but it tastes good after an hour of sparring. Biggest reason I would say that a person should come to Burbank Krav Maga is the standards here are really high. Again, I've seen that over time. I know that everybody here wants you to succeed, and they have very high standards and expect you to meet those standards. I don't think that anybody here is ever just going to have a false sense of security or be sort of pointed in that direction. You'll be held to high standards. You'll be pushed, for me, pushed harder than I've ever been pushed physically, and you'll know whether or not you can handle yourself in sort of a real world situation, I think, because of the intensity of the training here. And I think that's the biggest reason. It's a positive environment, but it's also a very tough environment and very encouraging, and that all works out, I think, to get a really quality training experience. Another thing I really enjoy about training here is that there's a real depth of experience among all the instructors. We have military backgrounds in karate, kung fu, Sebukan, Muay Thai, Taekwondo. It's pretty deep, and I think that goes hand in hand really well with Krav and the way that Krav pulls from different disciplines. No matter which direction you sort of go, there's somebody there who has a deeper background in that specific martial art, and it winds up really enhancing the curriculum as it is.
Hey guys, it's Mr. Crouch. If you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button. Subscribe and hit the bell to get notified whenever we drop new videos right here. To train with us, just click on the link in the description to our website and sign up for a free intro lesson. Plus, check out another video while you're here. We'll see you on the mat.
Who's the best instructor here?
No comment.